What's up, guys, and welcome to the Isn't It Crazy podcast. So, you almost didn't get an episode this week just because I ended up spending my whole weekend at Wisconsin Dells. And usually on the weekend is when I shoot the podcast. But I told myself I'm going to go to Wisconsin Dells. I'm not going to do the podcast this week, give myself a little break. But the more I thought about it, the more I hated the idea of not sitting here and talking to you guys. And I don't know, it just became my new normal. And plus, I was going to be bored because usually when I get out of work on Mondays and Tuesdays, I end up editing the video and it comes out on Wednesday. So it's kind of like my routine. And I felt like I was breaking it. So I didn't want to do that. So here I am. But I did end up spending my whole weekend in Wisconsin Dells. And it's as if they're living in the future. It's as if they've either forgot about COVID-19 or they found a vaccine and everybody's immune to it. But we ended up going to a Walmart, two restaurants, an amusement park, and a club. And none of these places required you to have a face mask. Nobody screened anybody for temperatures. There was social distancing stickers everywhere and they had like sanitizing stations. But other than that, it just felt normal. And that was kind of nice. The nice part about the amusement park was that the amusement park is called Mount Olympus. And if you stay in their hotels, you get to go to the amusement park. But before COVID hit, anybody could get a room anywhere else and then buy a day pass for the amusement park. But I don't know, for some weird reason, only the hotel members were allowed to go into the amusement park. So there was virtually no lines. You literally could ride a ride four times in a row. And it was kind of nice. I wish more amusement parks did that because part of it, I hate when you have to wait like 4 hours in a line just to get into a 1 minute ride. So it was nice to feel normal and be able to sit down and order food and enjoy a good conversation with friends. And it was a good weekend. But let me tell you one thing, Wisconsin, if you ever feel bad about your body, go to an amusement park in Wisconsin, especially a water park, Wisconsin. Nobody fucking eats right or has a diet. You know, Jesus Christ. I'm not trying to body shame. Listen, there's a lot of confidence in there because people that are overweight literally wore the skinny, like they were barely bikinis. And I was just going like, do you not have mirrors in your house? They don't care. They just put on whatever they found and they said, fuck it. I'm fat and I'm confident. So shout out to them. But I was just pretty amazed. You always hear these stories about how obesity in America, but you're like, that's horseshit. They're just trying to make you buy some supplement or eat healthier. Nope. If you go to middle America, Wisconsin, this cheese capital of the world, you're going to see some fatties there. And Jesus, I mean, I don't like body shaming, but it's just not healthy. You know, do you want to live long? Do you want to live like a good life and not die of a heart attack in fucking 10 years? Like you have to work out, but you know, that being said, the people there were really nice and you got Trumpy vibes from some places, but they were super nice and super welcoming. And people are just happy to be back to normal. But all right, obviously this episode is about Father's Day. And I just want to say happy Father's Day to obviously one of the most important people in my life, my dad. And if you know me and you're close to me, you know that my dad is technically my stepdad. But somewhere between 5 years old and 27 years old, he loved me and supported me and treated me with kindness that step in stepdad just got blurred. And, you know, I learned to love him and respect him. And everything he taught me made me who I am today. I would not be who I am and where I am if it wasn't for my dad. You know, growing up, I met a lot of people that didn't have dads and that could fuck with somebody. Like my dad wasn't there for me when I was growing up. And you feel alone and you feel like you need somebody there. And he was a person that was there for me. And it wasn't always great. You know, he had his demons. He was an alcoholic for a very long time, but he quit just because he joined a church, and I don't know, he got a sense of community and just a support system that was always there, and his family never gave up on him. And watching him quit drinking and become the person he is made me respect him that much more. My dad is like an old school type of dad. He does everything just to make other people happy. He gives my mom, well, he's terrible with finances, but he gives my mom all the money, and he tells her like, "Hey, make sure the bills are paid, make sure the refrigerator's stocked, make sure you get everything you need." And he's just there to make my mom happy. And I still remember the day I met my stepdad, or my dad. Um, I had just flown in from California, and I was 5 years old. And I walked into this room because my mom told me she wanted me to meet somebody. And I walk in, and he's standing there getting ready for work. He has one leg in his pants and the other one about to go in. He's got whitey tighties. And I don't know why I remember it just clear as day. He gave me this piece of candy, and I just thought to myself, this guy's okay. This guy's all right. And I'm surprised nobody kidnapped me, because if I thought every man that gave me candy was okay, I was sure going to get kidnapped. So I just remember that was my first impression of him, just that this guy's nice. And I turned out to be right, because he did have his demons and he did have an alcohol problem, but it never changed the way he was towards me or my sister. He was always kind and loving. And even when he was drunk, and he told my mom from the very first start, I get that he's your kid, so every time he acts up or he's bad, you discipline him. You are the one that has that right. I will not intervene. And it takes a lot for somebody to do that. Because kids, I was a terrible kid. I yelled at my mom. I didn't listen to my mom. I frustrated my mom a lot. So for him to never intervene and just know, maybe like he just knew his place, like, I'm here for support, not to be disciplined the kid. It taught me a lot, because who would have thunk it? Years later, I ended up in a relationship with someone who has a kid. And everything he taught me about being a stepdad, I can implement towards my stepdaughter, and just understand my role as a stepdad and just be there when she needs me. Like, the things I love about my dad is he's never really said I love you. He said it a couple of times, but the funny thing about saying I love you is that you can say it in different ways. You don't necessarily have to say those words. To me, when he has a cookout and he packs a lunch for me the next day and brings it to work and says, "Hey, don't go out for lunch. I have a lunch for you." Uh, that means he loves me. When he asks me, how did I finish the show and what's it about? That means he cares about the things I'm doing. He's just always there, and he's always supportive, and he always makes sure to let me know or feel that he's there. I couldn't ask for a better dad. And you know, so many times we wait for that person to be gone to say all the great things about him, but about them. But I like to make sure I tell my dad how much I love him and how much I care about him, and that I'm here. And maybe we don't say we love each other, but we do things to show each other that we love each other. And I can be grateful for a better dad. I would not be the person that I am today without him. He taught me how to work, and he taught me how to be there for somebody when they need you the most. Growing up, not having a dad, it was hard. You need like a male figure there and he was there for me. So many people don't get that chance in life. They don't get that opportunity for somebody to be there for them, and they end up in prison, or they don't know where to take that anger out, so they end up making bad decisions. But he was that like lifeline. He was that helping hand. He showed me that you have to work hard for the things you want, and you have to treat your family with respect and love. And you know um i I remember I would introduce him as my stepdad, and now I just said this is my dad. And that took a very long time, but I'm happy that we got to that stage where I just say he's my dad, and I just want to. I just, fuck. I just want to wish him a happy Father's Day and a happy birthday. One more, and I hope there's a lot more, because there's a lot of things I'm gonna need him for. A lot of advice I'm gonna have to ask him for, and I know he's always gonna be there for me. So I want to be with him for however long I can get. I'm not privy to the fact that we don't live forever. So I like to take these moments to not only tell him I appreciate him, but that I love him and that he's a great dad. All right, but other than that, um, not much else I did. I didn't do much else. Uh, I did watch The King of Staten Island, and that is my movie recommendation of the week. Back to, if you want to like a feel good type of movie that's tied into the dad theme of this podcast. It's about Pete Davidson and how his dad died in 9/11, and that's actually true. His dad did die in 9/11, and it's a great movie just because there's like a truth to it, but it's also like a movie, so part of it is made up. So there's like really funny parts. There's really like parts where they like tug at your heartstrings. It's I love movies that make you laugh, they make you cry, and they make you think. Those are the best type of movies. And not only did this movie have all three, it also had a great cast, funny dialogue, a great storyline. I mean, the ending is not that great, but it ties everything together, and it makes it a good movie. So check that out. Um, I loved it. It is $20 on Amazon, but I did talk to my friend once, and he said no movie's worth $20. And then I told him, well, you've gone to AMC and you spent like 100, and I know he gets popcorn and fucking soda, and he takes somebody, so that's way more than $20. So $20 is actually a fucking discount if you're gonna stay in on a Friday night and have a movie night. $20 ain't shit. Plus, you could get popcorn for like $2 and pop that shit, and it makes for a great night. It makes when you have a good movie, it kind of makes you feel like nothing else matters with all the fucking world being on fire right now. So go check that movie out. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's a very short episode, but usually when I'm alone, kind of short. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. And maybe tell me in the comments why you love your dad. So thank you guys for watching. And that's my show for this week. All right, I'll see you guys.